Welcome to Local Music Shapes Culture. No, I'm gonna do that. I always do this. Welcome back to Local Music Shapes Culture. I'm Allison Kristoff, and I'm here with John Ramos. That's how you say your last name?
Ramos.
Ramos? I'm sorry, I'm
It's
not
okay.
Hispanic.
It's okay.
Yeah, John's an integral part of the Indianapolis music scene. He loves to help out with shows and events and stuff, and he's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You used to live in Chicago?
I used to live in the suburbs, but I used to be like a big part of the Chicago scene. Like I was pretty involved with that for a while there.
That was the only two cities you've really lived in for long periods of time?
Here in Chicago, yeah.
Okay, but you were pretty involved in the Chicago music scene?
Yeah. Started getting involved when I was like 17. Like when I got my first car, I started going to shows in Chicago. In a lot of places I probably shouldn't have been going to shows in Chicago.
They were just kind of sketch.
A lot of them were in like contested gang territory.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that was interesting.
Yeah, you meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
I remember bringing a friend of mine who grew up in basically like a Carmel-like suburb, and having to explain to him that he couldn't talk to everyone on the streets because the area we were in was a lot of like drug addicts.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's different from Indianapolis
very,
for the most part.
very. But met a lot of my like really good friends, like lifelong friends through like those periods, like people I still keep in touch with.
Yeah. So you mostly went to punk shows in Chicago?
Yeah, sort of. It was a lot of punk, but most of it was like mixed genre because it was basically everything was a house show basically. So
Okay.
it would be like one or two punk bands, and then there'd be like a random ska band, and then there'd be like a hardcore band. It was all like mixed genre shows.
What's the biggest differences between like Chicago music scene and here?
Here is it's just really the difference with house shows. Like we
Really?
don't have as many.
No, I feel like we used to have more house show venues and we like just haven't recently.
With a lot of Chicago too. Like I think COVID killed it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
What? Yeah, I wonder why they haven't popped back up.
So
Who
my
wants to get their house trashed by punks?
yeah, the way I always looked at it was like when COVID hit, everyone who had a house venue, like they couldn't do shows, and they realized it was so much calmer to not do shows. Like your house wasn't getting totaled every week, and then a lot
But
of
wouldn't that be fun?
it is.
The hell's going on out there?
I don't know.
Oh, it's our neighbor. Dude, we kind of think our neighbor put up this no parking anytime sign because it looks kind of fake, doesn't it?
It does.
It like just popped up.
Yeah,
The neighbor with the $600,000 house
I love it. I love it.
that was just built. My neighborhood's being gentrified, guys.
Yeah.
Did you ever see my like viral King of the Hill video from like a couple years ago?
I don't think
I
so.
had one where I was just sitting like on my porch in like a fold up chair.
Mhm.
Like, just one of those fold up chairs. Like an indoor fold up like metal anyway.
Mhm.
And I was drinking a beer. I don't know what he's doing.
Just yelling.
I was just drinking a beer and I was like, I like sipped my beer and I was like, man, this dang old Airbnb man, bachelorette party last weekend, dang old construction, gentrification right across the street, this dang old neighborhood, man. And I got so many comments that were like, you are the gentrification. She looks like the gentrification. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I have a really old house, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I am a young yuppie, somewhat.
Yeah. That was always like the interesting part with like Chicago too, is like I'm mixed race. So I
Yeah.
was treated as a gentrifier because a lot of the shows I went to were like the Latin punk shows. So I was the white person there even though I was mixed race.
Yeah, like just less Hispanic than the other people.
Yeah.
You want to get up here? You want to get up here? Okay. Hello, buddy. This is my dog, Miller. He's a sweet boy, aren't you?
Does he have anything to say?
Miller, do you have anything to say? Anyway, what were we talking about? Chicago. The Indianapolis, yeah, no more house venues, it feels like.
Yeah.
I just want more venues here in general. I say that all the time on this podcast, but
No, it's the truth. Like Morgan's house show that y'all played the other day was so fun. Like I loved that. It was
Oh, I
such a
thought it was.
blast.
I considered it more Gianna's, the Big Bean Bonanza. That was fun. I keep finding random beans everywhere in my house. I'm like, are these from the
It
Big
might
Bean Bonanza?
be.
Okay, Miller, maybe you can get off.
That was a blast. Like I miss house shows for that reason. Is it kind of just feels like a house party and then there's music on top of it. It's
Yeah, I definitely went to some like pre-COVID around here, but yeah, seems like there's less of them.
yeah.
Especially the punk variety.
One of the first shows I actually went to here was a house show at the Shannon House when that was still doing stuff,
Oh
and it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
pisser slut bomb show.
Yeah, I've definitely been to many a Shannon house shows. That was fun. That was a fun house for house shows. They just had a good basement for it.
They did.
But I don't know, when did you move here?
I moved here uh about 3 months before COVID hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
With your, like, just by yourself?
so I had a friend of mine from middle school who was living down here, and I had gotten into IUPUI for geology, environmental science.
Mm-hmm.
So I had moved down here, I started going to classes, and then I remember right before spring break hit, I was buddies with one of the people, like the recitation leaders in one of my classes, and
Oh,
him like
yeah.
pulling me aside and going like, "Hey, when you go home for spring break, like bring all your stuff with you because you will not be coming back to campus."
Yeah, everyone kind of thought it was a joke at first. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember people in my office being like, "Psh, we're not going to be working from home all the time. We're not going to be quarantined." And then we were quarantined.
I worked at an auto parts store at the time when I was like in my undergrad, and like I remember I was like the only one at my job who like followed precautions. Like
Really?
no one else was like wearing masks or like keeping
Yeah.
distances or anything like that.
Then we all got COVID. Yeah, COVID, what a time. What a
Yeah.
time to be alive. Most of us have at least the first vaccine now. But I don't know. What are the positives and negatives of like Chicago music scene? How long were you in the Chicago music scene? Or like compared to the
Like
okay.
7 years.
Okay,
Like I'm
that's a
still
long
sort of
time. How old are
involved.
you?
I'm 28. I just turned 28.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just turned 29.
Yeah, so I always like joke with it with my buddies from like way back. It's like at this point, like we've been in the music thing for like a decade.
Yeah, you're basically an old head,
I
John.
am, I am. But it's like really does shape like the way I try to treat a lot of the younger kids too. Because like I remember when I was like 16, 17, 18 going to shows, and like most of my good friends I keep in touch with now are older than me. So like
Yeah.
when life stuff was happening, I'd like turn to them for advice, and they helped me out a lot. So I try to return the favor.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely look out for them youngins.
I do. I genuinely do look after a lot of like the youngsters as like they're my own kids.
Yeah. They're important. They're an important part of the scene.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm like sort of out of it from just like eating 5 cookies.
Oh, you're good. You're
The 5 cookies got to me. They were normal cookies, everybody.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I was involved with Chicago for like 7 years before I moved, and I still go back and do stuff.
What are the pros and cons of Chicago scene versus indie scene?
Um, so I think it's really cool what Brady does, and I really appreciate what Brady does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's cool because we get a lot of bands that we don't get. Like in Chicago, with it all being house shows, like everything was like a friend of a friend. So it's like
Yeah.
there's not really a pro and a con to that. It's just different. So many of the shows I came up going to were just house shows. So it was just a party, and
Yeah.
it was like, hey, we want to do something with our friends from Ohio. It's like it's how I met the Slutbound people. It's just because they were really good friends with my
Mm-hmm.
friends in a band called Death of Self.
Yeah.
And so it's like different in that sense.
The house shows versus the other venues.
Yeah, indie kind of feels like you're going to like a big show more often than not.
I feel like, yeah, even State Street Pub. You think so?
State Street is kind of its own little thing. And I really do like that about State Street is we had like little bar shows in Chicago, and that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like a bar venue, which is it
Yeah.
is. But like Healer and even Long Shot towards the end, like we had like a really
Man, I
good
miss long
sound
shot.
system, which was crazy to me.
Oh right, because you didn't yeah, house shows. I love house
I
shows.
used to.
Yeah, R.I.P. indie house shows. Well, they may be, someone could bring them back.
Yeah, that's all it takes is like one or two people.
Make live in a gross house for us.
Yeah. And like if you need help with like setting things up, like reach out. Like I will give you the tips that I had growing up. So I like helped out
True.
at like two or three different house
Find a cheap
venues.
PA.
Yes, yes. If you can find mattresses that like your friends don't use anymore, they make good cheap soundproofing. Egg
That's real.
cartons make good cheap soundproofing.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like all the shows around here right now are like Healer State Street or Black Circle.
And then occasionally they'll do the stuff at the Clydes.
Oh yeah, Jake.
Yeah.
My favorite bar.
It's not bad. It's a dive. It's like the little dive bar to go to.
I
It's
know, I've just had
nice.
some experiences
I
there.
I think everyone
I think
has.
everyone has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so that's the big difference is it was house shows versus like actual like venue shows.
Yeah.
Um
Is there any direction you would like to see the Indianapolis music scene go?
I would like to see a little bit more diversity. I know we have a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
these
true.
a lot of the youngsters seem like they're starting like hardcore bands, which is really cool. But like I would love to see people like diversify their changes. Like I love what Eston's doing. Like, Eston's stuff is super cool. The Old Calamity stuff is
Oh yeah. Like
so cool.
diversity in genres, or
Yeah.
is that mostly what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Eston's
Or
little
just
like indie
yeah.
stuff. It's so cool.
Sometimes when it's just like the same type of hardcore song over and over again, it's like, oh okay.
Yeah. And then there are so many bands that are doing cool stuff and I would love to see them like do more.
Yeah. I
Um
wonder if my hair looks any better or worse.
yeah.
Do more.
Yeah, just do more stuff. Like I said, Eston's doing a lot of the really cool stuff. I think JT and June were doing a lot of really, really cool stuff. Like even the Stars stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like genre bending things, or just things that are like more unusual, like people that like are doing things because they're like, oh, wouldn't this be weird or silly or different, instead of being like, what am I supposed to do in this genre? You know what I mean? What is everyone
yeah,
else doing in
yeah.
this genre?
Like I love Gooseflesh because they're just different and they're doing really cool stuff, and
Yeah,
that's
Gooseflesh
so
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's the big thing. I just love to see more diversity. I know
Yeah,
we have a lot of like different little scenes here,
yeah,
and I think I think if more people were exposed to more stuff, I think it could expand genres. Like that was the cool thing about Chicago too, is with everything being a mixed genre show. Like some of the first time,
you
oh,
can't
you're good.
ignore me.
Some of the first times like I listened to like ska music was like at a house show, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. I love this so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love seeing a diversity of bands too.
yeah,
Or just, yeah, I just love the chillness of punk shows.
yeah. And what I will say, and that's another difference between here and Chicago, is most of the places I was going in Chicago were just totaled with underage drinking, and I'm very much glad we don't have as big of an issue with that here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember you telling me some of your old stories.
There's so many of them. Um,
Well, tell us one that's not like the most depressing thing ever.
um okay, so I've mentioned both of
I
the.
just like I learned this from like my post asking old heads about their craziest punk stories, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize these would all be violent or horrible.
Yeah, that comes with the uh the space.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting, since I mentioned both of them, I've met the Slut Bomb people in Death of Self, which, if you guys haven't heard of Death of Self, please check them out. They're the bands that went on to, like, become, like, Blackwater Sniper. It's, like, their old
Wait,
punk band.
death itself?
Death of Self.
Death?
Death.
Oh, I love Blackwater Sniper.
Yeah, yeah, it's both of those, both of them were in Death Itself. It was like their teenage, like punk band.
Oh, cool.
And my 21st birthday, they were actually playing a show with Slut Bomb at a little basement not too far from where I was at. So I wanted to celebrate with them, so I brought a bunch of donuts. I brought like 3 dozen donuts
Oh,
to the
really?
show
That's
and was just
fun.
handing them out to people at the show. This is how I met Slut Bomb. Like I gave them like a bunch of donuts because they were on tour,
Oh,
and
that's
they
so
ended up
sweet.
giving me a tape, and that's how we've been friends ever
That's
since.
so cute.
Yeah, that
How old were you?
was my 21st birthday.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
Aw, donuts on your 21st birthday. How wholesome.
yeah. We also used to. I didn't live at the house venue, but I used to like kind of work there 'cause friends of mine were like all the people that lived there. It was a place
Mm-hmm.
called Nowhere in Chicago. It was in like the north side, and it was it was just a blast. I saw so many bands there. It's so cool to me too, because like I've met people here who have played there. Like
Uh-huh.
Colin Fedorchik from Pickwick Commons played there,
Oh, yeah?
and it's just weird meeting people, years later who played my friend's basement.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
But yeah, like so many good memories were had there because like we'd have a show going on in the basement, and like sometimes we would order a pizza, so we would sneak up upstairs to eat pizza and play like Super Smash Bros. While a band was playing, and then cycle
Oh, like
back
at
down.
at the house show?
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah,
See, more house shows. That's a theme of, I guess maybe this will be the theme of this podcast. It's just like
yeah,
more house shows. This will probably be in the title. We'll see.
yeah, yeah.
We need more house shows with John
Ramos.
Ramos.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I can roll my R's.
there you go.
John, John Ram. Oh, wait, no. We're going to redo this. John Ramos.
Yeah, yeah.
Close.
No, that's good.
Okay,
That's
cool.
good. Yeah, I guess the only other thing too is like I really do want to thank everyone who like came out to the benefit show that I had the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah, I
was
wasn't there. How did that go?
it went really, really well. It
Good.
was
That was for your friend
yeah,
that
yeah,
died.
yeah, yeah. But
Where did the money go?
it went to a charity called Hungry for Music. Which
Okay.
reminds me I got to reach out to Colin and
What do they do?
they donate musical instruments to children who otherwise can't afford them.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. It's very much in the spirit of like what my buddy would have wanted. Is like everyone to make music.
That's so cool. So, do you plan on doing a show like that like every year?
I already have a date booked for next year.
Oh, cool. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. That's so cool. Is that like your annual show booking, or do you book any other shows?
Not really. I've thought about getting back into it, but with school and work, it's hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially if you're considering being in a PhD program
Yeah.
in addition to a full-time job. I don't know what you're doing, John.
Yeah. I work for the
I'm
health
just kidding.
department.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, it was really cool. I think it was really nice. The idea is to make it less about my body though in future, and then just make it more just kind of a place for people to grieve. I think we all kind of have reasons to grieve at some point. So,
Yeah.
but I really do appreciate everyone coming out. It was really cool to see so many of my friends from even Chicago and elsewhere like come through to support it.
Yeah. Do you play any instruments?
I learned one song on guitar once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at how involved you are, and you've never learned an instrument, really.
Well, yeah, yeah,
No, that's not a negative. No, it's not a negative. I
yeah,
mean, like, there's like, there's a lot of people that love going to shows that don't actually play the music. There's like, I mean, the scene needs people like that, you know? It's not like, it's not like you have to play an instrument or make music to be enjoying the shows.
yeah. I luck out that so many of my friends are so talented.
Yeah.
Like it's been so cool to watch so many people like I've come up with like go on to do these really really cool things.
Yeah.
Like friends of mine just played Japan. Like that's so cool to
Oh,
me.
cool.
This band called Crowning from Chicago.
Cool. Hell yeah. You still stay in contact a lot with your Chicago friends?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. Do you think the Chicago scene has changed a lot since COVID also?
It has.
What did they Do they still do a lot of house shows?
No.
No
COVID.
one does house shows, guys. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. COVID seemed like it killed that too. Uh, Unfortunately. But it's like coming out. We're coming out of it, so maybe it's time
Yeah.
to bring it back.
We need some young college students doing house shows.
I keep joking that Mia should do it.
Yeah.
It's a hard sell for them.
Yeah, I mean, Mia's would be awesome. Mia just lives all the way in Speedway.
Mm.
Indy 500, baby.
Well, it's the perfect time to do it. Because
What?
like if no one's gonna make a noise complaint during the race.
That's true.
Parking will be a mess, but
Yeah, parking will... Actually, that's a horrible idea, John.
yeah,
Parking and traffic, no one's gonna want to go.
yeah. But there'll be no noise complaints anywhere near Speedway.
I also don't want to drive to Speedway. It would be like a
Me
25-minute drive.
Sorry, Mia.
Well, I still support Mia having a house show, but it would be far. But... Yeah, I do like the skate park shows in the summer. Hi, Miller.
Yeah. I love that. Like Sebastian's been like throwing some of those. Like I do love those so much. I think Brady just announced one, didn't he?
Oh, a Major Taylor show?
Yeah, I think with Coma Regalia.
What? When?
I
I'm wondering because I'm booking a Major Taylor show, so I really hope that no one books one on the same day.
I'm not
It's
sure.
June 6th. Mine is June 6th. It's with Diet Light. Dude, I saw that Diet Light was... Oh, man. Wait, who am I thinking of? Diet Light, like, is opening for... Oh, Jimmy Eat World?
Oh wow!
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I love Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, I saw that on TikTok, and I was like, you go, guys.
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, it's so cool to like watch people like you've seen like go on
Yeah.
to do like really really cool things.
I like them because they make TikToks. They're really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stayed at our house last time they were in town because they played with Kayahara and Pissers, I think.
Mm-hmm. Y'all play with them a lot, don't you? Pisters.
Diet Light. Oh, Pissers. I think Pissers like Kayahara.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kayahara's cool. I'm going to miss it. Kayahara's disbanding. Well, I'm telling you podcast. You already know. John already knows. Kayahara's disbanding after May 30th, which is our EP release show. Not any hard feelings, just some people want to move on.
Yeah. Well, I was also trying to do this so you could slightly plug your show with Pissers next week.
Oh, we have a show. Kayahara has a show with, well, I guess if we are doing the roll R's things, Kayahara has a show this Saturday. I'm not Hispanic. We only have one Hispanic person left in the band. It's Jimmy.
Isn't Mia mixed?
Well, Mia's grandpa's Guatemalan, but I think Mia doesn't think that that's enough to consider herself Hispanic, and I think most people agree with her.
Damn. I'm sorry, Mia.
She's come to terms with it. No, it is cool. I don't know much about Guatemala, but anyway, it's mostly Jimmy. But yes, a fourth of a person who's Mia. But after Armando left, the band got a lot less Hispanic.
Yeah, I am really happy with all the other stuff Armando's doing. Like, Armando's doing so many cool bands and so many cool projects.
Armando's very talented.
Yeah, so talented. And, like, Chickadee just came back and did a show. Like, that was a blast.
Yeah. Are they playing more shows?
Yeah, I think they just announced another one.
Okay, so they were just taking a break for a while.
Yeah, because I think Julie's in cosmetology school.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess, has anything come to your mind that you would like to talk about additionally in this podcast, John?
I really do want to say, like, I'm really glad for the community we have here and, like, everyone finding their own little groups. Feel free to, like, expand upon your groups and meet other people. Like, it's so cool.
To, like, not just stay within your own circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Like, so many people here are so sweet. I love talking to everyone. And it's neat that, you know, there's these different little pocket groups, but I really do love when, like, everyone comes together. Like I love the Nothing Club boys, and it's so much fun to hang out with them. Like the
Yeah.
show y'all played with them was so fun because I
Like when
love.
there's like a mixed band bill or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They're fun. Yeah, yeah. You also just made that giant list of Indianapolis bands, didn't you?
I need to finish it.
Well, that's okay. Dude,
Much.
there's so many Indianapolis bands. I don't think y'all understand. Like, I know y'all may not think of Indianapolis as the biggest capital city in the US, but like, dude, we have a lot of bands.
Well, and that's like kind of the other thing too. Is like there's so many of these like little pocket scenes. Like Homage just played a show, and they're this really cool math rock band, and they just played a show the other day at the
Yeah, I don't
Hoosier
really know
Dome.
them.
They're really cool. They're really
Yeah,
really
did you go to
cool.
that show?
I did not. I worked a healer night that
Oh,
night,
man.
but like there's like that scene. There's the Little Mel scene, and they have all their bands. There's like the
Yeah.
Black Circle scene, and they have all the mostly metal bands.
Yeah.
Like there's the State Street kind of has its own little group. Like
I love State Street.
every venue kind of has its own little bands that kind of stick with it, and it's cool when it crosses over. But I don't think it happens enough. And I don't think people are exposed to a
I
lot of these other
agree.
bands.
I think it should cross over more too. We should all get in each other's space.
Which goes back into why house shows were so cool, because it was always mixed bills. Because it
More.
was just friends of friends.
We need more house shows.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Local Music Shapes Culture. I'm Allison Kristoff. This is, you want to say your name?
John Ramos.
So I don't say it wrong. This is John. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you next week.